Hi viewers, welcome to Smack Media. This is the best media house, the best media station where we bring you the best content in the 254. And today I'm privileged to have one of the best political activists and the best political analyst, none other than NRM, whom I'll give him an opportunity just to introduce himself. Though many know him as NRM, but it's good that he gives his own legit names. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
How is you?
Not bad.
How is everything?
Not bad.
Now that actually we are having a very significant discussion here.
Yes.
That the Right Honorable Raila Odinga'S yesterday gave actually his points that he demands from the president. I don't know, how is your take on that?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
First, my name is Chris Maliongovi.
Yes.
And I think I don't know whether you have the 10 point the 10 points. I don't know whether they are 10 or 9.
Yeah.
I think we can go down and break them down and see exactly what is reasonable, what is unreasonable.
Actually, the points that Raila gave out, I think we can discuss them just one by one.
Yes.
And the first point that he said that actually his demand to the president was that the president has to restore subsidy to unga, fuel, fees, and electricity by January 2023. I don't know, will that be possible?
It's not possible.
Why?
It's not possible.
Maybe it's good you give
It's
us
not
a version.
possible. It's not possible, my brother.
Yes.
What happens is this, yeah? You don't subsidize consumption.
Okay.
It has been proven in many countries that it's not workable. You cannot subsidize consumption. You subsidize production.
Okay.
In many countries, you find that in agriculture, be it in Europe, countries like the Netherlands and so on, farmers are given subsidies at the production point, so that they can produce en masse, and then the weight of costs can now be lessened on the back of the taxpayer or the consumers. So I've seen there you've talked about the question of unga.
Yes.
You cannot unga. They tried it shortly before elections.
Yes.
They brought around unga costing around. They were telling us it's around 100 shillings.
Yes.
We never saw it on the shelves. You could go there the next day, it's not there, because these things have been proven by so many economists around the world that subsidizing consumption never works, because there are overhead costs that cannot actually be pushed to the consumer. So if you don't factor in those facts, and it's a whole chain all the way from the worker on the farm to the seeds to the fertilizer to the machines you're using, the wear and tear of all those storage and so on. Now, who pays for all this? So at the end of the day, if you have to play this, it's like trying to solve a mathematical calculation backwards. It becomes a bit tricky.
But
you'll get to the wrong question.
Maybe just to challenge you on this, during the retired President Uhuru's tenure, actually there was a subsidy on school fees, electricity, and also this unga. Actually, there was a subsidy. So maybe what has happened that has made actually the new regime to transform and change and remove the subsidy in all these things that actually the right Honorable Raila Odinga is demanding for.
Now the point is this.
Yes.
It used to be a lie. It used to be a lie.
Okay.
You could go to the supermarkets and get the products at not the price that Uhuru had talked about.
Okay.
And you could talk about electricity and so on. So that is why they came to confirm that actually subsidizing consumption cannot work, because trying to lift all those costs,
Okay,
and give them to the state to take care, actually you run the country dry, because you need a lot of money actually to feed. It's like feeding the entire Kenyan country. You take the responsibility of feeding them daily. Electricity consumption.
yeah.
Electricity use. People use, some people only use electricity for charging their mobile phone. Others use it for instance, just lights.
Yes.
Those who are a bit more consuming tend to use it for, sometimes they use it for ironing. But there are those people who use it for cooking. They cook using it, they wash their clothes using it, that ironing, they use it to heat the house and so on. So if you are to subsidize electricity,
Okay.
you have to take care of all those different categories of Kenyans. So at the end of the day, you'll find yourself, and by the way, subsidies should not be discriminatory. You do not tell people that, okay, fine, those ones who are using electricity for cooking and so on, we will take care of yourselves. We're only going to deal with those ones who are using it for lights and for charging their mobile phones, charging their laptops and stuff like that. You cannot do that. All these are taxpayers. If you give out a subsidy, let it go across the board. So that is why I can tell you that subsidizing, that one, I think the Right Honorable Raila Odinga'S was dreaming too much, and especially by January, it's not possible. We are trying to create order in the chaos that they had created during the handshake. Yes. That handshake between Raila Odinga and Ruto and Uhuru. That handshake between Raila and Uhuru created so much chaos. So he cannot give us ultimatum that, you know, by January he should be having subsidies. That one, he can tell that to the birds. What we're trying to say is this, yeah? When you're trying to create chaos, he should keep quiet first. Let him wait and see what is going to happen, because actually we can also want him to give us an account of where does the ODM money go, because, you know, ODM is paid the largest amount of money from the taxpayer. Where does that money go? We do not see projects run by ODM. Where does this money go? There is a day, in fact, what made him quarrel with Mudavadi, Wetangula and the landed Kalonzo Musyoka was the issue of money, party money. Billions. So they took the money, and so when you start throwing stones, when you're living in a glass house, be very careful, because people will start throwing stones back, and you might not like it. Yes.
Maybe when you are speaking about, there is somebody here who has asked me about that I should ask Mr. Chris about school fees. Actually, that the subsidy on school fees. That maybe actually the majority have dropped out of school now, simply because of school fees, because there was a subsidy there before, and they are saying that actually the government should reduce on, they should actually restore the subsidy on school fees. So maybe they are saying that actually let Mr. Chris give his own opinion and views on this. So what is your view about the school fees?
School education, education, my brothers, if you want to get quality education, yeah, it comes at a cost. That one, we should not lie to one another. Education, there is nothing so costly than education. Knowledge, you know, and because it's that knowledge that will translate into wealth, the wealth of a country. Okay. I could say that we need some levies chopped off at the education system, both from right from junior primary to the universities. Okay. Yeah, the costs of doing research, the costs of tuition, because already most of these people are being paid by the government. So charging them, there are those small costs. They tend to tell you that they are not there, but they are there. Okay. Those costs must be done away with. Okay. But again, it melts down to how have you managed the economy. If there is money, there is nothing wrong with you, because some of these countries like Cuba, we can call them communists, yeah, they've really subsidized education. Many other countries have done that, and it's almost free. Anyone who wants to go to school, you can go and study. So that from that, you come and work for the country, and the country, from your knowledge and so on, they can be able to generate wealth. Okay. Yes. Thank you for that, Dr. Chris. Actually, ensure that you subscribe to Smack Media, because this is where we give you the best content in the 254, and we are actually promising you that we shall give you what actually you require to watch. Keep on tuned, subscribe, and share the content that we are sharing to you. The next point, Dr. Chris, is this, that actually Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga'S asked about is on to restore and enhance the cash transfer to the elderly and the vulnerable people. Actually, because the majority of the elderly and the vulnerable people nowadays, they are not getting actually anything actually so far, as the government takes over. So maybe what is your take on that? Because I understand that you understand the government. Money should be given to the elderly. Okay. But not because Raila Odinga said it. Because it's the right thing to do. These are senior citizens. You know, Raila is trying to play the role that he's supposed to play, because he's an opposition leader. And he has the right to ask. Yes, let him play that role, and let him put up an office in CBD, so that people can also be going there to take tea and get bus fare and so on, because he gets billions of taxpayers' money. So we also want to see his office in CBD somewhere.
Is it him that will put the office, or the government will
In fact, thank you very much. In fact, government should hive off some of the money it gives to his party to put up an office for him. We want to be seeing him somewhere in CBD, so that people can also be going there for bus fare, take tea. You know, because where does he take all that money? Billions. So as he's carrying out his oversight roles, he is doing the right thing. We want to thank Right Honorable Raila Odinga'S for doing the right thing. But we are trying to say that on the issue of the elderly, the elderly need money. That one, there is no doubt about it. In fact, the amount should be hiked. It should be taken to the upper side. It's not right that people earn those 2,000. I mean, what will you buy with the 2,000 shillings? And you know, those elderly people also have dependents. You might think that that money is only going for their upkeep. They also have people they are taking care of. From that 2,000 shillings, it's awkward. But as we have said, that one must be balanced with economic growth. The more the economy will grow, if we don't have a lot of stampede, a lot of noise and so on. And even the vulnerable, you've talked about the vulnerable people. We're talking about people living with disability. We're talking about orphans, you know, the destitute, street families. These are people that should be taken care of. But as we say that, let us also take care of the economy. If you cause a lot of havoc, the way he's promising to cause a lot of havoc, the economy won't grow. So where will you get this money? Because investors don't want to come and meet rioters on streets.
And at the same moment, maybe with Dr. Chris, I would like to ask this question, just to submerge them together with the hustler funds that people received actually a few days ago. And many have really complained because actually people are getting 500, 600 shillings. So many were expecting to get a lot from it. But actually, to their surprise, actually now people are getting 500 shillings. So what is your opinion on that?
I may not, you know, I personally have issues with Hustler Fund, and without any doubt, I have issues with Hustler Fund. One, how did they settle on one mobile phone company? You press in your M-Pesa number. Why not a T-Cash number, the telecom? Because that one is owned by the state. Much of it is owned by the state. Safaricom, yes, we know Safaricom also the state has a share. But that is owned by the state is Telkom Kenya. There is Airtel. How did you just settle on this? And then two, there are banks that are showing interest in this thing. We do not want those people. Those of us who are in the other side, you know, President William Samoei Ruto forgets that we went to the trenches because of supporting him. Many people suffered because of just associating with President William Samoei Ruto. And the same fellas, the same banks that when in that game, they were on the other side among our antagonists are the same ones that we are seeing in the Hustler Fund. So we have issues, and we are going to create those questions right inside the party.
So maybe my question to you...
And that is why I'm trying to say this. That the Hustler Fund, we want to know, how are they going to keep the records in the first place? Because if you just tell me to register on phone and so on, we also need to get a backup of paperwork. They should have employed very many young people to collect names, documents of people who... You'll tell us you have those documents. No. What if someone hacks the entire system and all those documents are lost? So we needed a backup of paper. Young people, that is creating jobs for those young people. Let them write for us. How much money can you qualify? They didn't even give you that advice as you're applying for that Hustler Fund, so that you don't go and press your phone thinking you're going to get 50,000 shillings, only to get 0.00 something of that 50,000 shillings. That is 500 bob. So what we are trying to say is that we believe that this is just the initial stages, and much of the money will now begin trickling in. And more money will come in based on how people are able to repay the money.
So maybe getting 500 shillings, was it a trial and error? Okay.
They might have been saying it's a trial to see how it works.
Okay.
But this is taxpayers' money. We don't do trials with taxpayers' money. These are serious issues. These are very serious issues. You don't do trials.
Because it's 50 billion.
Yes. This is taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
You don't do trials. Just give out money that can help people change lives, transform it. It's wrong. It's wrong that you can give money, but unless they're going to make it regular. Every month you can qualify for 500 shillings. Yes.
Okay.
That one can make some sense. And then at the end of the year, they give you a period.
Yeah.
You qualify every month. You qualify for 500 shillings.
Yes.
But at the end of the year, you should have begun paying that money, half of it or some share of that amount.
Okay.
Yes, that one can make more sense.
Okay, then actually, thank you for that actually clarification. And there is a question here.
Yes.
There is a point here that Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga'S actually brought out about Linda Mama program. And I've realized that the president has decided to do away with many projects that actually the former president had done. Maybe how do you see about Linda Mama program, because it was something that actually helped many people that were unable to afford actually supporting their women in terms of delivery. So what is your point on this? Because
again, what happens is this, yeah?
Yes.
The Linda Mama were good. In Kenya, we have very good concepts.
Okay.
And some can come in very beautiful names.
Okay.
Expressway, standard gauge. They come in very beautiful names.
Okay.
But the truth is in the real taste is in the pudding. When you start now putting it on the table, you thought it was pudding.
Okay.
You come to discover that it was poorly cooked porridge. So Linda Mama, in my opinion, should not be scrapped. However, it should be made to Linda Mama. Because some of these programs, yes, they opened so many hospitals here. Uhuru was going at night, opening hospitals at night. Like some night runner. He was going opening. When you come in the morning,
yeah,
you discover there are no medicines. You have to go to some chemist next there. Chemists belonging to certain people. That's why I encourage people sometimes.
Yeah.
We can even be going for alternative medicine. Herbs. Masais are very good herbs. Cucumbers are very good herbs.
So you are advocating for
alternative medicine.
Alternative medicines, okay?
Because you can't just keep opening chemists next to a hospital. The hospital itself doesn't have medicines. It doesn't have doctors, no nurses. But he was opening these things at night. And that is why we thought, these things should be sinister. These are very ungodly hours. So those hours were not for God.
Maybe during days, actually, the president was busy every now and then. Actually, the time that he had
busy
was
what?
During the night.
Rumor has it, hearsay has it, that so many bottles of beer were cleared from State House when Ruto was taking over. So busy during the day doing what? Taking beer. Let me tell you, this country tumechezeana. We've really played with Kenyans, taxpayers' money. So in that issue of Linda Mama, okay, let it really Linda Mama. But let it not be used, or you use the name of women.
Yes.
Because people are very soft on women, the issues of women, people tend to react to them so fast and so on. Then you hide behind Linda Mama, kujilinda we mwenyewe nafsi yako ya mifuko yako. It's not right. So that is why I'm saying that Linda Mama and so on should be brought back.
Okay.
But should be actualized. But it can also be restructured so that it really gives value for money to the taxpayer. Because not all taxpayers are women.
Yes.
And not all taxpayers are married. And not all taxpayers will have the empathy with women.
Yeah.
So just by merely saying that Linda Mama, I don't think that taxpayers will say, yeah, fine, you're using our money, you're spending our money on women, so all of them will be happy. No. Some of them will ask questions. They don't have mama in the house. They are bachelors. They don't know much. And some of those ladies also, they are women, but they don't care so much about women issues. Yeah. That is why you see some of them don't even vote for women candidates. So when you tell them about Linda Mama to some of us who are activists is very key. Okay. It's very important. And so, but not to everyone. So when you are doing it and using taxpayers' money, you must factor in all those issues. Okay. How is it going to be value for money? How is it going to ensure that the taxpayer is not fleeced, but also services have been delivered.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
As we promise you, this is Smack Media, where we bring you the best content in the 254, and we shall be back after the break. Keep tuned to the Smack Media and subscribe, share our content.